Okay, so hi, this is Tiffany. I'm obviously at home, and I want to explain what the deal is completely about why I didn't go to dialysis, or why I didn't take my treatment today. I did go to dialysis, which was a waste of time, completely a waste of good makeup. Obviously, I have no idea where my ring light is, so it is what it is for right now. But yeah. So to lay out the context, we have been having trouble with my arm since the year began. There was one week where I had to go to Humble twice, um, just because people were having so much trouble sticking my arm. They've gone into my arm. They've say hi, April. They've gone into my arm. They've gone and put a balloon in my arm to widen it because it was starting to have thrombosis, and which means that there was a narrowing of the fistula itself. So we had to have a balloon put in. Had to have a stent put in because it's really curvy, and dialysis needles are obviously very straight. So a straight needle versus a curved vein is not a fun time. That is an infiltration looking for somewhere to happen. And there's only a very small handful of nurses that I trust with my arm. I just realized now that I'm going to have a dialysis treatment abroad in California. That's gonna be bad. But for right now, I am about 6 kilos over my dry weight. I'm 81 kilos. Damn it, I'm supposed to be 75 kilos. And no matter how much I starve, no matter how much I dehydrate myself, it's still a shit show. But like I said, when I got to dialysis, whenever I hit the door for dialysis now, I asked for a very specific amount of for a very specific nurses. And this has been the first time all year that nobody that I trust has been on the floor. Because I asked the nurse called me back and said, Tiffany, we're ready for you. I said, okay, fine, great. Yeah, come on, April. Um, I get in there. I say, who's on the floor? They name a whole bunch of random names. I didn't hear a single name that I trusted. So I was like, is Candace here? No. Is Erica here? No. Is is Vicky here? No. Is Candace, Erica, Vicky. Um, in a pinch, is Dalton here with his dumb ass? No. That's it. Nobody was there that I trusted. I'm probably missing somebody, but Megan. Is Megan here? Megan's in the back. Let me go find Megan. That's what the nurse said. I said, okay, good. I could breathe again because I was starting to get wound up and start to drift off into an anxiety attack. She comes back and she says, Tiffany, I'm sorry. Megan just left. In my mind, I'm like, fuck, there's nobody here to do my arm. And so Nancy, bless her heart, she starts saying, no, Nancy is a blue coat. They only do, if you have a catheter, they don't do the sticking part. The white coats do the sticking part. Um, so Nancy's a blue coat. Nancy's like, well, she starts trying to pawn me off on other people. Oh, well, so and so is a good stick, and so and so is a good stick, and this person here is a good stick. I don't give a fuck what you say. My arm is very tricky at this moment. My arm is very fucked up at this moment, to put it simply. It's not an easy stick. And Tuesday, the best stick on the floor is Candace. Had trouble sticking my arm. And normally with the arm, The needle stick is supposed to be 2 fingers widths away from each other, as you can probably see with the 2 nuts here. But we aren't sticking here, we're sticking further up. My 2 needles were on top of each other like this the other day to get my treatment. And that's why I said Tuesday. It took 4 of us to get my fucking needles out. Normally, it's not supposed to be that big of a tragedy and that big of a thing to pull anybody's needles out. You know, pull a needle, put a piece of gauze down, hold this. Pull a needle, put a piece of gauze down, hold this until it clots off and stops bleeding so you can go home. We couldn't do that. The needles were too close. So I can't remember this nurse's name. Um, she couldn't get. She was scared. I told her, look how close the needles were. The needles were like this instead of like this, and she said that's too close. I said, well, because I was asking them at first to pull a specific needle so that when you press down with the other gauze coming, put the other gauze down for the other needle, it wouldn't press the point of the needle down, which is very painful. I hope I'm making sense. But that nurse couldn't do it. She grabbed one of the blue coats. She was asking him to do it. He was talking about he was not sure. Now look, this is 3 people staring at my arm. Me and 2 nurses. So I said, well, this is for Tuesday. Where the hell is Candace? Candace is in a little COVID isolation. I, like I said, we're not going over why the whole COVID precaution is a shit show and a laugh at best. I said, well, somebody get Candace. I can't get Candace. She's nice. Listen, I said this. I don't give a fuck about the person with COVID. I really don't. I said, get her to come deal with this. So while I'm starting to get noisy and argue with them, Candace finally comes out and is doing the little, song and dance of disinfecting after the COVID patient. And, she comes over to both of them looked up and was like, hey, Candace, come help, help. And, she basically, what? I've been on dialysis since 2009. This has never happened. No nurse has ever done this before outside of a hospital setting. But Candace literally had to pop and pull both needles at the same time and put down one gauze collectively over both holes to get the needles out of my arm. That has never happened before. And because of how the needles work, excuse me, I need caffeine. My arm is swollen. And so they're talking, fast forward to today. They're talking about let anybody stick my arm. I would rather let April, April is Nini's real name. I'd rather let April stick my arm than let anybody else. You know why? She's here all the time. She's around my arm all the time. You want to stick my arm? No? No. And I don't know, you can sing and say all the nice things you want about whoever, but like I said, if they couldn't even stick my arm when my arm was good to be stuck, good to be stuck. Um, I'm not gonna let you practice on my arm. And Nancy couldn't seem to get it through her damn head that we'll let them try. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. They can try. But guess what? If they fail, it doesn't affect them. If they fail, it hurts me. I'm the one that has to deal with the infiltration, the swelling, the bruising, being told, oh, well, when you get home, alternate between hot and cold. I shouldn't have to alternate between shit because you should be able to do it fine. Or if I do not trust you, it is my right as a patient to decline. I'm surprised it didn't make me sign an AMA before I left. Trust me, they'll probably try to sneak and have me sign an AMA when I go on Saturday. I don't care. I'm not gonna sign the fucking AMA. But against medical advice. But I'm I didn't had enough this year. I didn't had enough. I've been sick enough, okay? Because honestly, it had in the last 2 years, I've had pneumonia, congestive heart failure. Um, the other day, my arm started bleeding and when I stopped bleeding. That was last week. Anaphylaxis, a bad sore on my ass, severe food poisoning, a shot in the ass, and I'm tired. And I'm not going to put myself through any undue stress. I'm already stressed completely with my trip coming up in Encino in October. And, people are constantly like, you look great, you this, you that. And I'm just like, okay. I look okay for Beaumont. For Beaumont, I'm about maybe a 7. For Encino, I'm a -2 on a good day. And I'm trying to fix that. Um, because I look fat now, and it's mostly fluid. Because I'm very, very sure I'm a lot smaller than what I am. It's just we have to get the needles placed right to get the fluid. I don't care about the treatment itself. I care about the fluid. And yeah, the fluid has its impact on my health and all of that. But right now, I have dresses I'm looking at in my closet that are out of frame that I need to fit. Um, I need to fit those dresses. And me being 81 kilos is not going to do it. Me being 78 kilos is not going to do it. I need to get my ass under 75 kilos um, by October, by the last week of October. It's already August. So I have my work cut out for me. And I need to have people who can help me because my hands are dry now because I'm dehydrated from not drinking anything. I have to go the next 2 days now without drinking anything, or basically swish and spit without swallowing anything. um, yeah, and let's not even get into how poorly I'm eating. So, but yeah, I wanted to explain. It's gonna be wonderful once Encino is finally over, because I'm going to get like the biggest big gulp I can drink. I'm going to get the biggest, messiest, crappiest hamburger I can have, and just be like, now I can finally eat and drink like a human being again, instead of eating and drinking like a bird. Um, but yeah, I'm really stuck on this because first impressions are lasting impressions, and I mean, yeah, I know I've met 3T virtually, whatever, but in person, I want to present the best version of Tiffany I can present. Um, and I've had an image of what that Tiffany should look like since I was 12 years old. And it's just something I can't break because it's been something that I've been focused on for the last 20 years. And, I have that image and I'm going to try to get that image. Apparently, y'all don't like the non healthy ways I'm going after it, so I'm trying to do it in a more healthy manner so that I don't end up in the emergency room again. Alright, but yeah, I just wanted to explain that. And Tracy Nooney is not going to cry. She does not have eyes. How is she going to cry? But fingers crossed it's not a shit show for Saturday.